Justin Pipe tritt an gegen den UK Open Finalist von 2007. 2014 gewann er aus der Qualifikation heraus, ebenfalls in Österreich, seinen bislang einzigen European Tour Titel. Er ist die aktuelle Nummer 35 der Welt und bekannt als der schnellste Werfer auf dem Planeten Erde. Herzlich willkommen hier in Hamburg, der Dutch Destroyer Vincent van der Voort.
Entertaining afternoon of action here at the European Darts Matchplay already, and perhaps the two highest profile players in this session on that stage right now, and this is where the world matchplay permutations come into play, because both of these players are still harbouring outside chances. We'll let you know what they need to do during this match, but Vincent van der Voort against Justin Pipe, a couple of the most experienced players here on the first day. But I have to go some to follow what's gone before, especially the performance that we saw in the fourth match of the day against Willie O'Connor. A fantastic display from him, 101.68 average in seeing off Martin Atkins. We've also had a 100 losing average from Keegan Brown, but wins for O'Connor, Jason Lowe over Brown, Paul Rowley for the first time, also on his debut Boris Koltsov, and Mike Langendorf, much to the delight of the German crowd here in Hamburg. But it's van der Voort, the man formerly known as the fastest player in the world, and it's Justin Pipe, the man formerly known as the slowest player in the world. Paul Nicholson joins me alongside me, Chris Murphy, in commentary.
Yeah, a little bit of a clash of styles here, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see who comes out on top here. I know that Justin is all right with playing fast players.
First leg, Justin to the first, game on.
Interesting to see how Vincent is with playing someone vastly slower than him. And said it once and I'll say it again, Justin Pipe is a lot quicker than he used to be.
Yeah, Pipe certainly has sped up, and we have seen
57.
some of the slower players in action in the previous match. Barnard and Langendorf don't play at this
140.
cheetah-like pace of Vincent van der Voort, although I don't think he's anywhere near the fastest player in the world anymore.
Yeah, it's a good debate. Ricky Evans is definitely the fastest for me.
I think Jermaine Watermena, who we're going to see later on, is a rival for Ricky.
Yeah, bring on the clock.
It's not about the speed, it's about the accuracy.
And it's accuracy that Pipe has been searching for this season. He's had ups and downs, really looking for that little bit of consistency, and one of the things that he's changed very recently is the shape of his flight. For years on years, he used a very small kite-shaped flight, but very recently he's gone back to the straight-edged, sawn-off flight that Phil Taylor used to use. And when Pipe was at his best, winning titles, this was the shape of flight he was using. He's just trying to get those darts to still lie flat, but not as accentuated as they used to be. He told me during the week that when he was hitting the treble 20, he was covering the bullseye. You don't want to do that. So now he's getting to stand up a little bit more, and he feels more comfortable that way.
Van der Voort might make him feel uncomfortable here, make him squirm, Vincent. Oh, wonderful start for the Dutch Destroyer, destroying Justin Pipe's throw in the very first leg with 160 checkout.
Well, wham, van, thank you, Vincent, for that one. Very good indeed. And what a way to break through on the first leg of the match. There's no doubting van der Voort's talent and the work he's done over the last few years. And I'm not talking about the amount of work he's done. It's picking and choosing when he can do it because of injuries, and sometimes he's just fell out of love with the sport.
Almost quit. In fact,
59.
these are two players who almost quit a couple of years ago for different reasons. Justin Pipe based on results, Van der Voort based on pain. The back problem that has hampered his progress.
60.
Both players that have won PDC titles, and it's plenty of them, so it must be difficult when you're struggling to pick up the results for whatever reason. And it was Vincent van der Voort's wife, Karen, that told him a couple more years, see how you feel, and that's what Vincent van der Voort's doing. And
140.
well, he's still in contention for the World Match Play. It would be a quarter-final run here to give him a shot at booking a place in Blackpool. As for Pipe, well, he'd have to go all the way to the final. In fact, I think he'd have to win the tournament. Justin Pipe. But at the end of this match, the race will be a little bit more clearer, as it will continue to be so for the duration of this weekend.
150.
Pipe, he was looking at a single 18 to leave 170 there. Slip into the one doesn't help, because it now gives Van der Voort 6 starts from 205. But Van der Voort shakes his head.
27.
And they've both had differing visits. It was a good visit from Pipe, but one bad dart cost him a shot at a finish. But
it's ended up being a very good visit, because Vincent hasn't left a check out himself, and having taken out 160 in the previous leg, you wouldn't have
60.
backed against him to hit anything there.
anybody who's watching the coverage and see the lips moving of Justin Pipe, a lot of the guys on the hockey do that, but they don't say anything. They just talk to themselves silently. The only people who can hear it are them. 127 for Pipe, and he needs treble 19 and bull now. And by virtue of that dart, it wouldn't have covered the bullseye. He's not going to get a shot at it now.
99.
But Vinny, 97.
97.
Talking silently, Paul. Justin's a man who claims to have coughed silently at Ali Pali.
Tops left
57.
for Vincent.
Justin,
And Justin really likes double 14. Maybe not as much as Mensa Sulevic, the Danish Darts Open champion, but doesn't like it right now because he just missed it. Double 7. Good shot from Justin Pipe. The Somerset man gets back on terms and breaks straight back after that 160 checkout in the first leg from Vincent.
Yeah, we'll come back to that point actually about the controversy at the World Championship, because we can laugh a joke about it 6 months later on, but Justin was really hurt by that, wasn't he? And that's another reason why he thought about his place in the game.
57.
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to Justin when he came into the practice room at Ali Pali, when he was just about to play Phil Taylor, and he looked
100.
nervous. And when he walks into a practice room, he doesn't look nervous. He looks purposeful. It's almost like he didn't know what he was in for. But it is in the past, and it'll probably hurt him for the rest of his career, maybe the rest of his life, that whole situation. But one thing he does do is he gets his head down and he gets on with the job now.
It's where it happened as well, isn't it? The fact that, you know, there's
100.
dedicated darts fans that will watch us every weekend on PDC TV, but when you get to that World Championship, above all tournaments, everything is magnified 100 times over, isn't it? And Justin Pipe is just clinging on to his place in the top 32 at the moment, which is important, of course, for seedings at Ali Pali come the end of the year.
More important now than probably ever before, because the top 32 in the world, they get a passage into round 2 of the World Championships, not round 1 anymore, round 2. The 32 places that are on offer outside of the top 32 in the world, those guys will play the international qualifiers. So there'll be 2 pools, the international qualifiers and the top 32 outside of the top 32 in the world.
65.
The top 32 in the world will automatically get £15,000 in prize money and a passage into round 2, which is a very, very important stage.
Yep, all change in the World Championship,
96.
ever growing, and the pinnacle of the sport growing to £500,000 to the winner of the Sid Waddell Trophy. 2019, plenty more darts to be thrown between now and then.
105.
Vincent van der Voort took out 160 in leg 1. Not going to do 150.
He's not.
59. Justin, you require 90.
Justin would love a treble 20 here. For double 15. Gets it. Nowhere near the wire. Great dart. Double 15. What a beautiful visit. And a bit of purpose in that face from JP. That's a very good kill to put himself 2-1 up after the first leg, losing that. It's been a really good bounce back from JP.
140.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned, a couple of players looking to bounce back in their careers. 4 years for both of these players since the title. Vincent's last coming at the Austrian Darts Open.
Well, we said the same for Mervyn last week. Could it be time for the 4-year gaps to be closed?
Interesting, yeah. Justin Pipe winning all of his titles. Well, apart from one on the floor, he did win a European Tour event in the very first year, didn't he, 2012. But the last 3 meetings between this pair have all been on the stage, and Vincent van der Voort has won all of those. In fact, all of Justin Pipe's 3 wins against the Dutchman have come on the floor.
Look at the angle of entry of that dart, and it's perfect this time around. You see the lag of that dart with the flight drastically lower than the point of entry. But that was even more accentuated with the previous flights he used to use. They were smaller, they were sharper, but these ones here, being a little bit bigger, they're just carrying a little bit extra air. It's working quite well in this match so far. He's looking to land it on top, and he pulls that one slightly. A bit long and left with that one.
Well, the pair so far seem to be making their mistakes at a similar time as soon as they're in finishing territory. And Vincent van der Voort taking advantage of that slip from Justin.
We mentioned the injuries of Vincent van der Voort. Well, Justin Pipe had a stress fracture in his leg last year. I can't imagine how painful that was to play darts in.
100. Vincent, you require.
We've got Gessie Price as well, who's going to play Mike Langendorf in the next round, and he's got his legs strapped up at the minute.
25 for ball. Great guide.
51.
Stayed next to it
Justin,
rather than making the adjustment.
He got 90 in the last leg, and he got 96. Again, he gets the middle of that 60. Double 9. One of the toughest switches on the board.
78.
Long and left again. He's cursing himself, and van der Voort needs this 25.
Well, double 8 will draw him level.
9.
But he can't find it, and that's
Justin, you require 18.
3 darts missed for this leg. It looks to be going straight for it. And he's straight in it. And he hits the front by a couple of legs now, Justin Pipe. And it's been an afternoon of firsts, Paul. We've seen first wins for Boris Koltsov, Jason Lowe, Paul Rowley, and a first leg for Martin Atkins. We could see a first on-stage win for Justin Pipe against VVDV.
I can't remember the last time I saw Justin Pipe hit a double so quickly. I mean, we make fun of him, you know, in front of him, telling him how slow he is. But
100.
I like this quicker Justin Pipe. It's good to watch. And is it almost like a red flag to a bull when Justin Pipe's wearing an orange shirt against the Dutchman?
Possibly. Might be a wise ploy from Pipe. But yeah, there was a time when it seemed that you could move house in between visits from Justin Pipe. But he definitely has quickened up a little.
93.
And I don't know about you, but there seems to be an improvement in performance. I'm not talking in terms of how he used to play back in 2012, 2013 when he was winning a lot of titles, but certainly he's helped lift him up a little bit in terms of performance levels over the last year or so.
Yeah, absolutely. You think of anybody else who's worn an orange shirt against the Dutchman in the World Darts? I can think of a couple.
Well, I'm sure Peter Wright would have pulled that kind of trick at some point.
Absolutely. He's done that against Van Gerwen a couple of times. He's actually worn the Van Gerwen green against him, which Michael really doesn't like. But remember when Mervyn King played in the Lakeside? After he played that controversial game against Rick Hofstra, the next game he wore a very Dutch shirt to try and get back on the side of the fans. And how about when Taylor wore an orange shirt against Barneveld in 2007 at the World Final?
125.
Yep, there's more that goes on than what you see on the stage. more than just chucking the darts. And,
134.
I'm sure you've pulled a trick or two in your time, Paul.
I may just have done that. But tricks is not what Justin Pipe needs right now. He needs a treble 19, which would have left double 14. He's got time to play with, as Van der Voort hasn't scored at his best in this game. But from my experience watching the European Tour with Vincent, he could go click like that and then just wrap off 3 or 4 legs because of brilliant scoring.
Yeah,
Going to pressure him.
There was an incredible game between Vincent and Adrian Lewis at one of the European Tour events last year, where both players just hit the heights, and it was breathtaking viewing.
Interesting that. 20 for double 18 for Pipe. It's double 9 coming to his rescue once more. It isn't.
Vincent, you require 68.
Well, this could be the tungsten tide turner. Double 4.
60.
Double 8 last time. This time it's double 4 has cost Vinny. And it's 1 for that double 4 for Pipe to go 4-1 in front. It's there. Pipe will probably not believe that he's 4-1 in front, but he is.
Well, after the fanfare beginning from Vincent van der Voort, he's not managed to muster up much, has he? And
no.
His faint match play hopes might be coming to an abrupt end here in Hamburg, and the Pipe dream goes on.
121.
You always say when we have the cut-off tournament for a big event like the Grand Prix, the Worlds, the Matchplay, Players Championship Finals, and the Europeans now, because of the current criteria, something always happens on the last day, or the last tournament. And Richard North today is watching very avidly.
Yeah, as will Alan Norris be tomorrow when Kim Huybrechts enters the fray.
He's tweeted today, isn't he? I'm a Kim fan, he says. Got to wait and see who Kim's going to play. Will it be Jamie Bain or Chris Dobey? You will find out this evening on PDC TV from 7:15, and that is local time.
Well, look, as you said, not only can things change on the last day, but players have snuck into major tournaments and produced career-changing runs. The one that springs to mind most recently is Jamie Lewis, who didn't qualify for the World Championships on the original criteria, but played in the PDPA qualifier, won in a third-place playoff, a spot that was only made available by the outcome of the World Youth Final, and went on to reach the semi-finals.
60.
The one that springs to mind for me is definitely the Steve Farmer incident, which we'll come back to. Another 25 for tops. 25 is hit. Tops is there. Start of the fight backs on. And Van der Voort pulls through with a very good leg. A couple more of those and they'll be on 4-4. And Pipe does not want that to happen. But talking about the Steve Farmer thing, a few years ago, Mark Webster was in the precarious position. Played a European Players Championship in Newland in the Netherlands, and the only person who could have knocked him out as Van der Voort started the charge. The only person who could have knocked Mark Webster out on that final day was Steve Farmer. He had to win the tournament. What did he do? He won the tournament. Beat Kevin Painter in the final, and Mark Webster lost out on the Grand Prix by £50.
Yeah, there are plenty of tales like that. I know Barney made a late surge a couple of years ago to try and qualify for the European Championship, but fell at the very last hurdle, I believe. He won one more match.
That was at Sindelfingen. Yeah. He was involved in a great match with Simon Whitlock there, where he took it 141 on the last leg when Simon was on a double. A heroic shot.
130 when Pipe returns, and he's going to be under some pressure.
Bang! Goes Van der Voort. This 130's got to go out now. Otherwise, Van der Voort's going to be on the tail of the Pipe man.
perfect to follow it in. The double 5. And Vincent van der Voort fired in 2 180s in that leg, but the 130 checkout from Justin Pipe means that van der Voort might soon check out of this tournament.
Tell you what, did you see the follow through on that last dart? As van der Voort gets another 180. Yeah, that double 5 shot from Pipe had a little bit of the old twitches on the end of it. It was very characteristic of a Chisnell double 18, but it was good enough.
Well, this is incredible because Vincent van der Voort, all of a sudden, as you said he might, has caught lights in this darts match. But Pipe did the important bit in between.
Yeah, that was massive, that finish. Because if he missed that, for me, Vincent goes out on that 58, I think it was. And then he mounts that charge and he probably wins the match from there for me.
57.
But Justin Pipe had enough in the tank to stop that charge, and he's given himself a fantastic chance. A fantastic chance of playing Simon Whitlock, the 12th seed, tomorrow.
96.
Yeah, Whitlock, who reached the final in Denmark last weekend, his first European Tour final for, I think it was 4 years for him as well. Mind the gap.
It's like the London Tube. Mind the gap.
85.
All the veterans are coming to the party. All the guys with experience. And van der Voort on 146 wants to lay this up nicely. That'll do. Pipe can't steal this leg. That one he's about 184 behind.
Well, he'd need a helping hand from his opponent at least, and the way that Vincent van der Voort has been playing in the last 3 or 4 minutes suggests that he will keep himself in contention, averaging over 96 now, the Dutch destroyer. Well, that's tough. And that is going to give Pipe a chance to destroy Vincent in this match and in this tournament. 167, what a shot this would be if the 130 hurt Paul. I mean, that would have been enough to force Vincent into early retirement, surely.
That would have been some shot.
55.
He's just praying he gets one more poke at it. Don't think he will. Double 16, he blocked it last time. On the other side. This time he's got double 8, it's good. What was 4 legs that he needed is now 3. And he doesn't look worried. Just thinking to himself and chatting to himself, just like Pipe was earlier in the match. Saying, right, another one. Pipe's having none of it.
140.
It's only Justin Pipe's 3rd appearance on the European Tour this year. Van der Voort just continues to pepper the treble 20. Yeah, you stopped him getting in one of the events, Paul. The German Darts Open, a last leg decider in a deciding match.
Yeah, I got a lucky double 13 in that match. He was sitting on a double. I'd already missed double 13 for the match. Went outside the double 13, outside, and the 3rd one just clipped inside. And to be honest with you, that actually started my season off getting through to that tournament.
95.
What this would do for Justin Pipe's season to get through here, and it would still keep his match play hopes alive.
Yeah, and all going on that order of merit as well to try and cling on to his place in the world's top 32.
Good switching from Pipe.
91.
Clever darts, really. Because if he'd missed the treble 17 there, he would have gone to the treble 19. Using the board effectively, but so is van der Voort.
139.
Biggest moment of the match coming up so far.
170.
That's a brilliant leg. Both players on finishes after 9 darts. Van der Voort on a 2-darter. But even if that had snuck in, it would have been hard for Justin Pipe.
Crowd getting involved now.
78.
Van der Voort about to make it a little harder for Justin.
If he hits this, the crowd will be loud. 84. 2 darts he wants back.
21.
He wants all 3 back. Now that 170 is almost been cut in half, and Pipe has got 92 for the match.
Well, he's going to have to go down, pretty sure here, or cross for treble 12.
Vincent, you require 60
Had to
seconds.
switch with the first start, hanging above the treble. Van der Voort has one dart.
40 seconds.
And now he has to
Justin, you
pray
require 40.
that pipe doesn't hit, or it's all over. Not just the European darts match play, but the world match play too.
Here come the crowd. To the right, Justin. Plenty of room for tops. I don't know whether he's wearing his earplugs today. If he's not, he'll probably wish he was. 2 10s, and it's there!
James on the match. Just
Hands are
time.
shaking. And the pantomime bad boy doesn't have a grimace on his face at this point. He's got a smile. His small hopes of getting to Blackpool are still alive after a very good performance from Justin Pipe. There were times in that match where Van der Voort started to charge, and that 130 checkout in double 5 was absolutely monumental, maybe in the season of Justin Pipe. We'll get a little bit of vocabulary from him with Elmar Polka in just 1 second. Tomorrow he plays the wizard, Simon Whitlock.
Justin, congratulations. The one who was better on the doubles won that match, is that right?
I really don't know, but I mean, the 160 that Vincent took out was massive. I think we both played quite well in that leg, and there's a lot of pressure on Vincent today. I think if Vincent probably made it to the quarterfinals last 16, he was probably in a match play, and I've been there, and it's not nice, and it's hard work, and we're up here trying to play in front of these crazy people, and it was tough.
Simon Whitlock is the next one. He just won a tournament on the Pro Tour, one of the top 10 players. Different match, or?
Simon's just won a Pro Tour?
Is that wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so,
I'm
anyway.
sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't want to shock you.
Listen, the top 16 are the top 16 for a reason. They're the best players in the world. It's my job now to try and get back up there.
Yeah. Cool. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I did. Justin Pipe. Er sagt, gilt für ihn genauso wie für Vincent van der Voort. Keine einfache Situation, sind beide nicht mehr in den Top 30 mit dabei.